very clean car, that one, I like that. MGB GT there on an L plate. Very bonny indeed. The Vauxhall Victor F-Type Estate. Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1, twin wheels either side at the back. How cool is that? Lovely original plate as well, I like that. With windows in the back, and a little Riley elf behind that. Yep, it is a Riley Pathfinder, so that's the earlier of the two cars. It's a 64 Ford Anglia, certainly suits it. Another of BMC's finest here, the Wolseley 1500. Carlton's had a GSI 3000 perhaps. On an R registration. Beautiful car. There goes the caddy.
Now again, I know there's...
Look at that Porsche lap belt over there. The DS21 Palace is also going. Well, good morning folks, welcome to the Old Classic Car channel. That over there is Thoresby Hall, and these are the grounds, Thoresby Park. Setting of today's classic car show, and here I am here today in the MX-5. Looks like there's a fair bit of jumble here today, so I'll have a proper look around here later on, I think. Cars are starting to arrive now. I've got an Alfa Romeo Spider, and is that an XJ behind it? An X300, one of the 6-cylinder Jaguars. It is indeed. Private plate on that one. In wafts a Silver Spirit. My youthful assistant is away today with Mrs. OCC in Grandad's MGB GT. They've gone to a meeting that's a little bit more local to us back at base. And as always at these classic car shows that we get to, I'll try and feature a little bit of everything, but obviously we're going to prioritise the older cars here today. You do get a lot of later sports cars and modern hot hatches, that kind of thing, so I'll feature a bit of that. There's a very smart Sierra Cosworth. Is that Moonstone Grey? I think it could be. But yeah, we'll mainly be featuring the older cars in this video because this is the Old Classic Car channel. MGB GT there on an L plate. An MGB Roadster behind that. And the Lotus, is that an XL? So what's this then? Is it a Nissan Cube? I believe it is. Hello. Nice Toyota MR2 in our favourite colour. Audi Quattro. The entrance to this particular show is quite unique because cars come from over there and over there, so you really have to keep your eyes open and your ears peeled. Yep, we're in Sherwood Forest territory. Jaguar X-Type. Audi Cabriolet there, followed by the first of today's Morris Minors. How many of these little beauties will we see today? This little A-Series engine burbling away. And in the Morris Minors mirrors we have a Capri with trailer. In fact, the whole gaggle of Capris, I saw these parked up in a car park just a couple of miles down the road. Yeah, a whole flotilla of Ford Capris. Got a Capri 2 there. That was the version that introduced the hatchback to the Capri formula. Slightly later on there from the early 1980s. Yep. Sounds like a V8, looks like a V8. Pretty purposeful looking Mark 1 there, looks like an RS 3100. Very nice indeed. Yeah. Many of Ford's finest coupe heading in. There's a E46 series BMW there, coupe, just in the middle of the Capri lineup. Now normal service is resumed, and there's a stunning Mark 1 there on the K plate. So that's about 1971 or 1972. What a beauty that is, I like that. Got a Capri S behind that. Toyota Celica convertible. Something modern just getting in the way. But not to worry. And behind that, a rubber bumper MG GT. The Mini approaching from the left. A Honda, one of the souped up versions of the Type R's, but I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe a Civic perhaps. And a much modified little Thames 300e there. Yeah, many non-standard things with that one, but I've never seen that one before, and that's one of the reasons we come to these slightly more distant gatherings, because you tend to see cars that are new to me and indeed the OCC channel. That one's in the livery of Rods and Retros of Sheffield, so that's pretty groovy, and a fairly early disco coming in now. In fact, it's one of the commercial variants of an early disco with no rear side window in it. It's all panelled in. So that was the commercial variant. I also saw this gaggle of Vauxhalls parked up somewhere as well. As I was driving in this morning, we've got a Cavalier there, the rakish Vauxhall Calibra Coupe, and here's a little G40 VW Polo. So that's supercharged. You can hear the supercharger whining away to itself. There's a very bonny little Honda CRX, very clean car that one, I like that. Many exhaust pipes. Ooh, heading on to view at this classic car event, we have a Series 2 Jaguar E-Type Roadster. Mitsubishi Evo. There's a beautiful Chevrolet wagon. How cool is that? Quite the assortment there. There's a Jaguar S-Type and looks like a vintage Austin behind that. We'll have a closer look at that one later. Porsche 911 Targa, Ford Escort Mark II rally car, or certainly souped up. Next purring interview. Wow, it's a Vauxhall Victor F-Type Estate. I like that. More older Vauxhall action here. Another Vauxhall Cavalier there, the hatchback. So what's that, the Mark III, I think? Oh, classic Triumph Spitfire 1500. Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1, that's a bit of a nice car. VW Golf GTI Mark II. And here we have a BMW 7 Series, one of the E38. It's an Alpina modified E38. A Mazda MX-5 Mark III. And a couple of later cars. A Ford Focus and a Subaru behind that. Oh, a chunk of Swedish goodness there. A classic Volvo 240 Saloon. Handsome son of a gun, MG RV8. A little Mini there, very nice too. That's a smart one, I like that, I like the colour. There's another beauty behind that as well, both Mark 1s. That's a 65 Mini Cooper in the back there. I think the one in front is a Morris Mini Minor perhaps, I'll check up on that one later. There's a DeLorean coming in on my right. Whilst over here we have a bit of classic camper action, a Suzuki Leeds bay window VW camper. We've got a much modified Jaguar XK8 behind it. I think it's sort of in tribute to a Ferrari. Then we've got a BMW Z8, which is a tribute to another Ferrari. So this is the classic replica club, I think. There's a lovely early Rover P6 saloon, 1966. I spy Alvis, particularly fine Alvis drop head coupe. Ooh, that's nice. So what's that, a TA14 perhaps? The Mark II Escort there. Following the Audi R8 we have a Jaguar XJS. I saw a couple of these as I was heading over too, but they were heading in the opposite direction, so maybe they were off somewhere else, who knows. SLK follows Beetle. Looks like a Ford Focus ST, or the RS. Yeah, it's the RS, isn't it? And we've got a Daimler version of the Jaguar XJ40 here. Very swish. You don't see too many good ones of those around nowadays. That's a nice sort of dark bluey grey metallic. So yeah, lovely place to be in there. Very swish indeed. We've got an Audi Coupe behind that. Is that an 80 or a 90? I can never tell them apart, but that's what we're looking at. Next purring into view is what looks to be a kit car inspired by the pre-war Mercedes-Benz SSKs. Smart little Rover 200 series cabriolet there, based on the R8 Rover series. Whew, look at that! A Chevy Apache truck. Not a pickup, but this is a proper truck. Twin wheels either side at the back. How cool is that? Very nice. Behind the Chevy we have Big Healy, the Austin Healey 3000. Reliant Scimitar GTE, the SE6 series GTE, and that is followed by the Audi TT Mark 1. I do like those. A bit of variety coming in now. Toyota MR2 Mark 1, and in its rearview mirror, ooh, there's all sorts coming in now. Now, is that a Ford Anglia or is that a Pop? Looks like an Anglia, the E494A with those little trims around the bonnet sides. We like a bit of that. Ludlow green, same as our V8 Pilot. I think it is a Pop. It's just got the Anglia hubcaps and bits and bobs on it. Rubber bumper MGB GT there. Alfa Romeo. Another Ferrari based, I think, on the Z3 BMW. Gaggle of Renaults here. No 4CVs. Will we see any 4CVs here today? Is that a Renault Wind? I've got a feeling that's a Renault Wind. So I've been out of my comfort zone with cars of this age, but I think it is. Yes, it's a Renault Wind. Followed by another Renault Wind. Quite an upmarket Ford Escort Mark 1 there. Two-door car. So what's that? 1300E. Oh, vinyl roof, jazzy paint, a few extra bits of trim and bright work on that one. Chevy day van. Quite a vocal Chevy day. Oh, a Dodge, a wartime Dodge. No way. That's very cool. So that's got the old straight six flathead in it. Fantastic. I like that. Never seen that before. So what year would that be? About 43 or 44-ish. Nice trailer. Chrome bumper GT there. And a bit more classic Morris Minor action. This time a two-door saloon. Morris Minor 1000. Burbling its way in. Yeah, wonderful sound to that one. A Mazda 323. Mercedes-Benz SL, one of the R107 series, 280 SL, an A40 in 1964, somewhat modified Austin A40 Farina. Wowzers. Ooh, I'll be having a closer look at that later, all being well. The SLK. Mark 1 MX-5. Just like my Chariot for today. Is that a... I forget which limited edition that one is. A little Corsa behind that. Look at this incredible Toyota. So, which model of Toyota is that one? I can only think of the Crown. Is that a... Yep, it's the Crown Super Saloon. I remember as a kid, a neighbour of ours directly across the road, he bought a brand new one of those in dark green metallic. Sitting in it one day, I was so impressed with all the chrome switches for the electric windows and all those sort of gadgets. Pretty incredible car. Hello, are you alright? Hiya. Oh, yeah, I will do. Oh, there's Les, the commentator in the arena. He's a regular at many of these classic shows events. Another mighty Chevrolet. There's a bonny little Opel Kadett coming in. You don't see too many of those. Don't get many Opels in this country. So we've got a TT convertible this time. Vauxhall Ford Fiesta Mark II. But a few people watching this video cut their teeth on early Fiestas just like that. There's a Vectra MG Midget 1500. Yep. That one's in this sort of DTM style livery. I remember going to Donington watching the DTM Calibras. Oh, that's it, yeah. John Cleland, touring car racer. He raced the Vectras and the Cavaliers before that. Yeah, there's that great little midget. Vauxhall Astra GTE Mark 1. That's a rare old bird now. MGTF, which was the revised version, the replacement for the MGF that came before. The earlier car had hydro gas suspension. Got an X350 era of Jaguar XJ. Guessing that's probably a 3 litre V6, aluminium bodied. A Mini Cooper there, one of the later reincarnations of the Mini Cooper. The Triumph Stag in yellow, looks like a Mark II with those wheels and the trims down the sills. And a mighty Mustang here. Great looking car, that one. A magnificent Mercedes-Benz ice cream van behind that. And I see a lone Ford Capri in the distance just over there. One of the two-tone limited edition cars. Someone is kind of doing a three-point turn. But of much more interest is a lovely pre-war Austin that's just purring in over there. There goes the Capri Laser. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. What a fantastic little car. Is that a 10? Could be. Yeah, what a beauty that is. Good to see some pre-war cars still coming out to these events. The Vela set, 1964 Velo. That looks like a Venom Clubman with the swept back downpipes and the tacho drive on the side of the engine casing. I think that's a Clubman as opposed to the regular Venom. We used to have something very similar to that. Toyota MR2 Mark III. And a very handsome estate there, the Jaguar XF wagon. And that is a good looking car for a modern-ish car. That is very, very nice indeed. Now, 70s Americana, what is this? Is it a Chevy Monte Carlo? No, it's a Chrysler Cordoba. I really am a bit vague on a lot of these 70s era American cars, so I apologise for that, but I don't think I've ever seen that one before. Another little MG behind that. On slightly more familiar territory, we have a Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit wafting in there. Beautifully quiet car. Ford Cortina 1600E version of the Ford Cortina Mark II. Looks very smart indeed. What I think is a Mahindra, or something similar to that. A car inspired by the old wartime Jeeps. It's on a Q plate. Yeah, looks like fun. Oh, look at Gilburn, Wales's finest. Very nice. The Jaguar XK8 heads down the concrete road. Thoresby Park was used by the military during the Second World War, hence these very, very military looking concrete roads which are still here to this day. I think there were tanks based here in the Second World War. Wonderful Cadillac. What an incredible looking car that is. More Mitsubishi Evo action over here. You need eyes in the back of your head. Got a 67 Rover 3 litre coupe here, the P5. So that's before they shoehorn the Buick derived V8 under the bonnet. Yeah, that's beauty that is. Lovely original plate as well, I like that. Oh, the Daimler, the SP 250, 2.5 litre V8 and fiberglass bodywork on that one. Ford Escort. Toyota Supra. That's a bonny looking example, another Mark III MX-5 behind that. Oh, more classic pickup action here. Great old Chevrolet from 1967. That's a fleet side as opposed to a flare side with the straight body sides at the back. There's a Ford Kuga over there, and coming in hot. We have a replica Ferrari. The hot rodded Ford Pop. Much lowered roofline on that one. If I had to guess, I'd say Tony is arriving in his Jaguar S-Type. I hear V8 to my left. No, it is not a V8, it is a V6 Ford Capri 2.8i. You need eyes and ears in the back of your head. Porsche 924S behind that. Very smart example, that one, about 1986-ish. Second Rover P6 of the day, and this one has a classic bathtub Triumph motorcycle on the trailer. More beauties coming into view. Lotus Elan fixed head, very nice. I love that shade of blue. Behind that, a Humber Scepter. That's one of the Arrow Series cars, one of the upmarket Arrow Series cars. And behind that, the Jaguar XK. Ford Escort Mark 1. Now, which one's that? Is it an RS2000? Could be. No doubt we'll see it. I'm going to go for a bit of a walk around later. There's an Escort Cosworth behind that. There are quite a few of those already parked up when I got here this morning. Ford Escort Mark IV Cabriolet. More wonderful Minis coming in. Look at that, what a beauty that is. Very nice. Mini Cooper there, another beauty. A little Mini behind that. Is that a Sprite? Oh, it's the Italian Job limited edition. And there's a very bonny one there. Looks like it's prepared with a bit of motorsport in mind. And a Mini Sprite edition behind that. Ford Puma Racing there. Those are pretty rare now, very sought after. Were they all in that sort of blue metallic? The only ones I've ever seen, I think, are in that colour. Yeah, great looking little cars, I think. Behind that, one of the M100 series Lotus Elans, front wheel drive, Isuzu power. Ooh, classic Jag X308, it's an XJR, so it's the supercharged. Fantastic, I like that. I used to have one of those in dark blue Ours is a mere 3.2 Sport, but same shape as that. Yeah, what a fantastic looking car. Real sleek XJ. Shame they don't make that kind of thing anymore. Ooh, here's Wallace and Gromit. Lost in a 35 van with windows in the back. And a little Riley elf behind that. Great pair of BMC classics there. We have an Aston Vantage there. And a Triumph TR5. What a beauty that is. Soft top raised. Yeah, it's a stunning car in very dark blue, that one. 2.5 straight 6 engine under that bonnet, which will go on to serve in the TR6. And behind that, Ford Fiesta Mark 1, a 1.1L. Great to see that. A bit more Back to the Future action here. Another of Belfast's finest. V6 powered DeLorean. Pursuing the VW, we have Jaguar XK8, Nissan Skyline, there's a bit of a low rider there. Quite what it is, I do not know, but I know I'm having to stand back a bit to get it into shot. Talking of classic American wagons, we have this stunning Chevy of the late 1950s. What a beauty that is. I love the colour scheme as well. That is really, really my cup of tea. And there's a lovely dog in the back as well. I can see a little collie just peering out. I'm not sure if the camera will pick him up, but yeah, what a fantastic bit of kit that is. There is a Monaro, one of the Aussie Monaros behind that. Lightweight Land Rover, Chevy Camaro, burbly, burbly, burbly. Yes, much burblage with that one. Stingray there, the Corvette. Very neat looking car, fiberglass body. The Mark 1 MX-5 there. Slightly lowered rear engine Skoda. That's cool. Got a Ford pickup truck hugging the ground. Pretty tasty looking Peugeot 205 here with body kit. I think that's a dimmer body kit. I remember those being advertised back in the 1980s. That one's about, it's on an E-plate, so what's that, about 87, 88, that kind of age. I'm certainly getting on a bit now, but yeah, it's a really sharp looking car, that. A little MG behind that. We have an MGC GT next in the line, so that's got the 3 litre BMC engine under its aluminium humped bonnet. Visually it's very, very similar to the MGB GT. Slightly larger diameter wheels are standard. This one has got aftermarket wheels on it anyway. But yeah, slightly larger diameter wheels, and that hump that you can see in the bonnet, that's how you tell an MGC from an MGB at first glance and without looking at the badges on the back. Right, bit of a queue now, something modern there. XK8 convertible, enjoying the sunshine. It's a bit chilly, there's a bit of a chilly breeze this morning, but yeah, ideal for roof down, so long as you've got a half decent heater. And I just pan over to the right to check out an incredibly rare Riley saloon. Now I can never remember if this is the Pathfinder or the later Riley 2.6 saloon. I always get them mixed up, but I hardly ever see them, so you'll have to forgive me that one. Yep, it is the Riley Pathfinder, so that's the earlier of the two cars. I think someone possibly in a road test of the era did sort of nickname it the Ditch Finder, but I think that was a little harsh. But it's a very handsome looking car, that, very sleek, and that is seriously, seriously rare car now. Quite a rare Mitsubishi there, so that's a Galant with, according to the side, 4-wheel steering, 2 litre double overhead cams, 16 valves. It's a Ford P100 pickup, one of the Sierra era of Ford P100s behind that. A Passat estate. Little, I'm not sure, that's an Asia Rockstar. So a little Indian built vehicle as a homage to the original Willys Jeep. Yeah, I remember those. I think I've got the brochure somewhere for one of those, but I don't think I've ever seen one in the metal. Again, great to see some pre-war cars at this kind of event. Another wonderful Rolls-Royce with Hound on the rear seat. Beautiful. A Series 2 Jaguar E-Type fixed head coupe. So that's got a 4.2 litre straight six. The Wolseley 1500 behind that. I do like those a lot. They're great little cars. And a pretty rare Morris Oxford behind that of the mid 1950s. You don't see one of those every day of the week. A spot of 80s stroke 90s Rover action heading into view now. K-Series engine powered. This one's on a G plate, so slightly earlier. And over there I spy Lotus Elan Sprint drophead, a convertible version of the Lotus Elan Sprint, which was the slightly pepped up version of the Lotus Elan. Great little car, fiberglass body, very lightweight car, handle really well. Apparently these were the inspiration for the original MX-5s when they were designed back in the 1980s. There's a Moggy convertible behind that. Jaguar XK80 is pursued by Jaguar XK. Spot more wind. What's with all the Renault winds? I've only ever seen, I think, one of these before, and that seems to be parked up at Alton Park. But I've never seen this many together in one place. Must be a big owners club gathering, this one. I wonder what the story is with these then. They almost look like they could be electric cars, but I don't think they are. But yeah, there's a whole flotilla of winds blowing into view. There's a little Citroen just waiting to come in to my right hand side. And I spy Ultima behind the big Mitsubishi. Where's that going? It's a 64 Ford Anglia. That's an Anglia Super. Very nice. There's the Ultima GTR. I actually passed one of these earlier on this morning near home. I don't know if it's this one or not. Maybe. Peugeot 106. Ooh, a Renault Wind. And another two examples behind that. Yeah. Make that three. I spy Red Lotus, followed by Not Red Lotus. The Jaguar E-Type, this time a Series 2 2+2, so this one has the small seats in the rear. Slightly higher roofline, slightly longer wheelbase compared to the regular fixed head coupes. Escort 1600 GT. Got some later fast Fords over there and over there. Yeah, all pouring in now. Ooh, what do we have here? Oldsmobile, 1958 Olds. Wow, that's a bit of an eye-catching vehicle, that one. Isn't that incredible? All over black. We may have some of the members of the public's cars mixing it now with the classic car arrivals. But yeah, that is fantastic. What an eye-catching car that is. Proper classic American car. Right. What else have we got that's interesting? Got Moggy Traveller over here, pursued by MG Midget. Short wheelbase Quattro over there. Looks like an S1, got a Fiesta RS Turbo there. It's always great to see these cars moving under their own steam. I'll have a wander around a little bit later to see what's parked up because I have missed some. But yeah, that looks pretty purposeful, the short wheelbase Quattro. Mazda RX-7, one of the early series Mazda RX-7s with a rotary engine as dreamt up by Dr. Wankel. Be careful how I pronounce that, but yeah, great to see a nice early RX-7 here today. Is that a Sora behind that? A little Nissan S-Cargo. Audi Coupe Quattro. Ooh, a wind over here. The BMW Z4 over there. Triumph Spitfire Mark III. It's a left-hand drive Mark III Spitfire. That's pretty neat. 1296cc. A Plymouth just over there. Plymouth Roadrunner. E36 BMW Coupe. Spitfire Mark IV Mini. I'm not sure what that is behind the Spitfire. Toyota Supra here. The Welsh assembled Gilburn over there. They're pretty cool cars. Sierra there. Possibly an XR 4x4, one of the V6 powered cars, I think. An MG BGT V8 in a very fetching shade of mid blue, just there, burbling away to itself. Granada here. First of several Triumph Stags. One of these followed me for quite a long way before turning off this morning. Not sure which one it was. It was blue, but I think there were two people in it, so it's not that one. Black example there, followed by a white one with roof raised. With a Mark II there on the alloy wheels with the stainless sill covers. Got a Caterham 7 or similar there. Oh, nice to see a lot of Stags together. Whole pride of Stags. Not sure I've ever seen one in that colour before. Certainly suits it. Very handsome cars. Little VW Lupo follows Audi. I hear motorcycle. The little BSA Scrambler. Trials bike, off-road bike. A Mazda MX-3. They've all but disappeared now. A Rover there. Chrysler Crossfire. These were based on the early Mercedes-Benz SLK platform. Mrs. OCC quite likes those. Mini. A little Ford Fusion, I think. With the Crossfires. Pretty fruity sounding Escort rally car heading into view now. I'll just stand out of the way to preserve my toes. Yeah, what a fantastic looking car. Great livery and colour scheme, that one. Vauxhall Cavalier Mark II with different grille. That's a CD, that's the upmarket one. I may explain the grille and the reflective panel between the rear lights. MR2 just to the tail of that, and a great Chevy 3100 half-ton pickup with pedal car in the back. Ooh, I like that. If you've seen some of our Combermere meeting videos, you'll know we've taken a couple of pedal cars in the back of our old Dodge pickup to some meets, and yeah, that looks fantastic. Hope to get a closer look at that one later. Look at this incredible Ford Fairlane. Wow. Can you imagine the re-chroming bill on that? There's still a few oldies coming in. Jaguar X-Type over there. Most of those were four-wheel drive. I think the small engine one, the 2.5, was front-wheel drive. A little Rover 100 Knightsbridge. just over there. A Merc Ford Cortina 1600E. Again, lovely looking car, really, the metallic paint really sets those off a treat, I think. Two classic Triumphs in our favourite colour. Triumph Spitfire 1500 there, slightly lowered, on Dolly Sprint alloy wheels. 3 litre Triumph Stag here. Yep, sounds like it's got the original engine in it. The ones that people re-engine with a Rover 3.5 do sound different. And a Datsun, I think it's a 240Z. It's a 280Z, but we're close. Morris 8 Series 2 4-door saloon. BMW Z3 and an MGTF behind that. Lovely XJS convertible there. A replica of the good old AC Cobra just heading in on the port bow. Bonny little Citroen AX there. Carlton's had a GSI 3000 perhaps. It is indeed. Followed by Volvo 850 Estate. Interesting little home built car behind that. Celica. Ooh, Austin A30. Little Spridget wheels. Wonder if it's still got its 803 engine, or has it been upgraded with one of the larger A-series engines, who knows. A Honda on the trailer here, a Honda CX500 Turbo. Oh, there you go. But that's interesting to ride. This is a little Toyota Sierra. Apologies if I mispronounce that, but yeah, with the gull wing doors. Pretty groovy little car that is. MGZT. Is that one of the Mustang powered ones, I wonder? Does it say? Yeah, it's got V8 on the back. So those were heavily re-engineered to accommodate the Mustang. About 4.6 litre V8, I think. Yeah, pretty groovy car, that. Not many of those around. What's this? Is this a Kia? Is that a Kia Magentis? Yes, I remember speaking to the owner of that one here last year. Right, let me amble in the general direction of the entrance. Cavalier Mark 1 4-door saloon. Yeah, pretty rare sight now. Third Silver Spirit of the day. And the mighty Jaguar. This is the Mark 10, a 3.8 litre Mark 10. Beautiful colour. Yeah. Another of BMC's finest here, the Wolseley 1500. Second one of those we've seen today. Very handsome car. Of course, there was the Riley 1.5 version as well, which had the twin carbs, a little bit sportier, but essentially pretty similar cars, both with the 1489cc engine under the bonnet.
Over and up. You're showing? You go to the show just straight down, you'll see the guy in the green down there. Okay, follow up please. Don't wait this one in, mate, the Mini. The Mini. Showing, that's a what? Showing. Straight on down if you're showing, please.
Something has gone awry with the Alvis's headlamp. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe it's a little bit loose, or maybe a bird flew into it and knocked it round. Super little Mini Clubman there. What is
That's
that?
The van, Jonathan. The van I'm having over this side. The silver van. The Astra can go on in.
Wowzers, what is that? A Pontiac Bonneville of 1959. It's a fine looking building over there. Hard to believe that little Saxo is 23 years old now. Ooh, Triumph GT6 Mark III. The 46 Coupe. Citroen BX, followed by Mustang, Vauxhall Nova, first Triumph Dolomite I've seen today. Normally get a few of those here. There is a Jaguar E-Type Series 1. Change of course. Triumph motorcycle. Daimler V8 250, the 2.5 litre Daimler. We have a Jaguar behind that, either a 240 or a 340, which was the run-out version basically of the Mark II, but with slightly different trim, slimmer bumpers compared to the original Mark II. So this could be a 2.4 or a 3.4. What does it say? 240, so 2.4, that particular car.
Website absolutely on that, yeah.
Alright then.
Thank you.
Okay,
Cheers,
thank
thank you. Cheers.
Ooh, I spy Ford pickup, presumably V8 powered. Another example of air-cooled rear-engine VW. Beetle is heading in that direction. While Chevy heads in this direction. I've seen one or two Mercedes SLs. But here we have a Ponton Series Merc Saloon. I'm guessing, what, late 50s, possibly the beginning of the 1960s. A stunning Bentley there. The Continental S. E30 3 Series Beamer. 2001 Nissan Micra. The Volvo 340 or 360. Don't see too many of those. Originally a daft design. No power steering. XR3i Cabriolet and a Merc C-Class. Another silky smooth MGC. What do we have now? Honda Civic Type R, I believe, followed by Bubble Arch Ford Escort Mark 1. That sounds just how you want an Escort to sound, and a mighty Granada Estate stands back to get it all in. Yeah, what a great looking vehicle, a Granada L. Wow, that is so rare now. Talking of Granadas, another Granada, slightly later estate this one. Probably just as rare. That's a 2.8 Gear X. 2.8i Gear X in fact. Yeah. Rare, top of the tree, the I Gear X. Datsun, Nissan rather. The russet brown Triumph Stag. Yeah, lovely. Still cars pouring in, mainly members of the public now I think. Probably still a few display cars in the queue. Yeah, still a smattering of oldies in the queue. MG Midget 1500, Mini, door now closed. Fairly late example of the Rover 75 post facelift. Classic Mercedes of the 1970s. This is the SLC. So at first glance it looks very similar to the SL, but this is the longer wheelbase SLC, the coupe with a fixed roof, so you can't lift the roof off on these. And it's got these very distinctive things in the rear side windows as well. So that's actually quite a rare car now. TVR, is that a Tasman? That's a 280i. I like the little bit of glazing at the back over the number plate there. Mercedes-Benz E-Class, one of the 124s.
You working with them?
Is that a Mark 1 Granada, or is it the slightly earlier Consul? Certainly pretty early. I like the proper reflective metal plates on that one. Super clean car. It's a 2 litre. Let's have a look at the badging on the back. I love those original hubcaps as well. Yes, it is the Consul, the Ford Consul L. Super original Porsche here. That's pretty groovy. Left-hand drive in brown. The 912, so that's the 4-cylinder car, as opposed to the 911, which was a flat 6. There's still a lot of old cars coming in. We've got a BMW 2002, left-hand drive, a lovely red one, very nice too. So which model was that? 2002. Of course there was the 1502 and the 1602 as well. Very handsome car. Later replaced by the first of the BMW 3 Series. Ford Puma. What is this mighty Plymouth over here? What a great sounding car that is. Not too many clues. 71 Plymouth. A great 325i, one of the E30s behind that. Lovely looking car that. Really like that. Ultima with door open. I suspect there's a bit of a queue to get in now. We just pan across here. Little Nissan here, reminiscent of the old BTCC cars. Mini Cooper over here. Another X350 era Jaguar XJ. Could be a 6, could be a V8, but it's probably an XJ6. XJR badge on the back. My, they have big woodworm round here. It's a Ford Capri 2, followed by a later Capri. There we go. On an R registration. Thumbs up from the driver. A lovely example in black behind that. Ooh, what do we have here? Reliant Scimitar Coupe. The old GT. That's a great looking car, that is. Do like those. Fiberglass body, built-in Tamworth. We do have an extra Triumph Dolomite here today. I was hoping we'd see more than one. And here was me thinking that was all the classic arrivals, but no. MGB Roadster with the recessed front grille, just like on Dad's GT. By now the youthful assistant will have driven his granddad's MGB GT to the local gathering, so I'm looking forward to getting a full report on that meeting when I get back home later today. Ooh, more MG action arriving over yonder. Another V8 powered B. Very, very nice indeed. I love the wheels on those. So that came along later, after the MGC, which wasn't a huge sales success, even though it was a lovely smooth cruiser. But the V8 engine was lighter, more compact, and at least as powerful, if not more so. I wonder if MGB owners like a lie-in. We have another example here, very late, one of the limited edition cars. Nissan Bluebird dominating its rearview mirror. Ford Capri. Ooh, and a lovely little Citroen 2CV. And the Morris Minor pickup, well, an Austin badged equivalent of the Moggy pickup. What a great little pickup that is. Great to see. Bit of commercial vehicle action here today at Thoresby Hall. Ooh, Mercedes-Benz S-Class. I remember seeing this one somewhere before. This is the one that I've commented on before, not having a passenger door mirror. So that's a 280S. So Mercs were notorious for being beautifully built, but many things that you might expect to be standard fitment on such a quality car were optional extras, including, in that case, the passenger door mirror. But great to see that one here. I've got a feeling I may have seen that one at the NEC possibly, or one very like it. Oh, we have another Ford Puma, 2002 example. Vauxhall Astra, Mark III, I think. I spy in the distance, behind the XK8, another Alvis, just post-war, so late 40s or very early 1950s, probably a TA14. In fact, I'm sure I've seen this one somewhere. Lovely quality car, hand-built post-war car. Yeah, very handsome machine. Yeah, lovely. Ooh, it's on wire wheels as well, just like the Alvis Grey Ladies were. Hasn't got the air intakes on the top of the bonnet that the Grey Lady had, but they do look good on those wire wheels. (1965) Jaguar Mark II, also on wire wheels, a lovely opalescent blue metallic. Now that's something we haven't seen much of today. Triumph Herald here, Triumph Herald 1360 Saloon. Very nice too, on a JE registration. It's a beauty, that is. Oh, what a lovely example that is. About 1970-71. E-Class Mercedes-Benz, a W123 Coupe, so technically a C123, a 230 CE. Very swish looking car indeed. Introduced in the 70s, built right through the 1980s. The Z4 BMW. Bit of hot rod action there, inspired by the old Ford Model A's. Jaguar XKR convertible, so supercharged V8. Second example of the Bentley Continental. That's a real handsome son of a gun, a proper Brit bruiser, that one. I do like those. Built-in crew. I hear fast forward. Yep. 64 Ford Anglia. BMW Z3M, all 326 or so brake horsepower, powered by the M3 straight 6. A classic Volvo Amazon, 1967 or 68. I'm a big fan of these. I've run one or two of these over the years. That's a 123 GT, so that was the most souped up of them all. Yeah, great to see that, complete with tow bar and correct mud flaps. Very nice car. We'll have a closer look at that one later too. Next interview, Volvo Estate. Looking pretty sharp. V70. Yep, about a couple of those. I spy a Ford Cortina Mark III Estate over there. Guess we'll have to wait for that one to come through. Don't see too many of those around now. So what's this? Pontiac GTO, I think. It's a 66 car. A Pontiac Le Mans, right. Chevy Bel Air on his tail.
Anything away from the manufacturing new. Now, you may have... a Morris Traveller coming in that's been converted. Just a little bit closer. This is definitely a kit car. I think is it an MG? What I would call a typical British.
Modified cars are entering the arena.
Right, in you come. You've got a good start, folks, but it could be a lot better. Anything away from the manufacturing norm. It could even be a camper van just coming in. This is a Datsun. That'll do. Fantastic.
We've seen a bit. Come back and see in a while.
To you members of the public, homes, you want to get close up and what have you, but please don't touch the vehicles, I say, without the owner's consent.
That should do the job.
Each and every one of them can come back again.
8 Series BMW. Is it 840 or is it the 850? That's the 840 Ci. 4 litre V8.
As a sports cars.
Yep, certainly a lot busier now, and it would appear that over in this quarter of the main display field is where most of the much older cars are. This is 70s and then it gets newer the further you go down there, so I think the logical thing to do would be to head to the furthest corner in this direction to make sure we have a proper look at the really early stuff that's here today, and then gradually work my way backwards up the field back towards where the MX-5 is parked in the sports car section. It's a Super Morris Traveller here with the de rigueur picnic set in the back.
Especially at Thoresby Park.
Yeah, let's get over here and start having a wander around and a proper look at the cars now. I think they're all pretty much parked up now, one or two are in the arena. But here is that lovely Ponton Mercedes-Benz of probably maybe mid-50s, possibly late 1950s. Some of these were diesel, some were petrol.
Thank you, Amanda. Right.
Lovely quality car. Quite an unusual AA badge on this one as well. AA of East Africa. I wonder if that's a clue as to maybe where this car spent its early life. Yeah. Pretty cool to see that. I don't think I've seen one of those before in the metal. Yeah, lovely quality car. Let's have a quick look around here. See what else we can see. Mercedes-Benz 70th anniversary sticker in there. The Ponton Benz. Yeah, there we go. Very handsome cars. Do like these. So these are the ones that came before the fin-tail cars, I think. Very handsome 3-box styling. This is a 190. Real quality car. Just have a quick peer in. The window is up, but we can hopefully see a little bit of the interior in there. Really great cars. Properly built cars these are. That'll go on forever, I'm sure. And here is the Alvis TA21 drophead we saw coming in before. If you wish to be the new owner of this, there you go. There are the details. But yeah, it's a handsome motor car. Got a bit of info on the screen, so let's have a quick look at that. TA21 drophead, yeah. Produced in 1951, coachwork by Tickford of Newport Pagnell. 3-litre 6-cylinder engine in this one. Yeah, what a great looking bit of kit that is. So let's continue the amble down here. Now this was a little Ford we saw coming in before. There's bits of Anglia, but I think it's a Popular. The headlights have been upgraded. It's got the chrome bumpers of an Anglia and also the shiny hubcap centres of actually a pre-war Ford. The post-war Anglia didn't have the Ford script in it, but they do set it off a treat. So this is the Pop, the 1172cc powered Pop, still on its original registration, with just a few extra bits and bobs from the Anglia, just to brighten it up a little bit. There you go, there's the steel dash of the Pop 103E. Very smart, like I say, Ludlow green, same as the Pilot that we've got sat at home at the moment. Ooh, there's a 41 to 46 Chevy pickup just driving in. Look at that. Quite low, but I do love that era of Chevy truck. The sun's making an appearance now. But where was I? Right, ooh, we've got the old buff logbook here for the Pop. Private Ford Green Saloon, 1956. Bit of early owner information. Yeah, built in Doncaster. That's interesting. In December 1955. Sold by E&G Charlesworth Limited of Doncaster. First registered 11th of January 1956. Cost £275 plus £138, 17 shillings in purchase tax. So £413 and 17 shillings the total purchase price for this lovely old Ford. Very much based on the old pre-war Fords. Now here is that Austin. It is an Austin 10. This is the Clifton. So it's an open top model, this one. Seats in the front and you have the dicky seat in the back. So extra row of seats out here in the open. So you'd have to pick your weather if you're going to ride in the back of this one. Usually, yes, there's the step, which allows you to clamber into the back here. It's quite cosy in the back here. It'll probably be quite drafty because there's no separate screen for the rear seat passengers. So that's occasional use only. I would suggest. But these little Austin 10s are great little cars, just a bit bigger than the Austin 7, and arguably probably slightly more usable car perhaps. I certainly think if I was going to look for a little Austin, I would probably go for a 10 over a 7 myself. Obviously the 7s are very popular in VSCC events, Vintage Sports Car Club, but if that's not your thing, I think there's a lot to be said for going for the slightly larger 10, if I'm honest. So there we go, 2-seat Tourer with dicky seat, first registered April 1935, 1100cc 4-cylinder side valve engine. The 4-speed box with synchro on 3 gears, max speed around 45 to 50. Great little car. Like I said before, great to see a few pre-war cars at some of these events because you don't see them everywhere nowadays, which is a bit of a shame. And here is that incredible caddy of 49 Cadillac. Wowzers, that's quite the machine, and again there is a rechroming bill you wouldn't want to have to pay. Oh, what a beauty, what a sleek machine that is. Left-hand drive. Just try and keep out this gentleman's photograph. Just keep out of the way while he's taking that. There we go, right, he's done. Right. Yeah, super sleek car. Look at that. Amazing car. Cadillac. A real quality car of the era.
That's it. 3 days.
Look at that trouble with you all day, aren't we?
Super sleek, super low styling on that one. Really, really tasty. Look at the hefty mascot on there as well. What did we have in 1949? As we were piecing things back together following the Second World War, things like Morris Minors and Standard Vanguards, but this is what people were buying, if they had a few bob, mind you, over the other side of the pond. Incredible, incredible car. Alright, let's carry on down here. Rolls Royce. Which model of Rolls Royce is this one, I wonder? It's got a 49 replica tax disc in the window. And here is the commodious rear compartment with partition, wood, lovely leather smell in here. Proper car, West of England cloth headlining. Nothing but the best for the Rolls-Royce customer. I love how the fuel filler cap is blended in to the shape of the rear wing. That's a beauty, that is. Real variety of cars here today. Amazing car, amazing car. Beauty. It's a little raw, isn't it? What a belter that is. Quite the assortment of badges on the front as well. What an amazing cars. Okay, next to the hot rodded pop is this super little Austin A35 van with added side windows reminiscent of the Austin A35 Countryman, but I don't think the Countryman had the vent in the roof, whereas the vans did. Many vans were converted. You could buy an official conversion kit to install rear seating in your van. It was a bit of a purchase tax dodge to buy yourself a van, then cut windows in the back and get yourself an estate. And that's probably the case here. Yep, there's the vent in the roof. So that was a van thing as opposed to the Countryman. Very similar otherwise. Ooh, I spy box of goodies for sale on the floor. I'll have to check that out in a moment. Some lovely badges on the front. The BMC Drivers Club, that was a club for drivers of BMC, British Motor Corporation, lorries and commercial vehicles. You've got the Austin Golden Jubilee there, 1955. The A3035 Owners Club. And the badge there for Lucas, Joseph Lucas. Proper Desmo little bracket things there as well, the little mountings for the badges. None of your repro stuff here. Pair of Lucas lamps, fog, spot lamps, so those were aftermarket. I like the proper Lucas sticker on the black case battery. We like that kind of thing. It's got a big SU carb on this one. Originally these would have had a little Zenith, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, very bonny, complete with the sun visor as well. And here we have some things for sale. Set of British Leyland wheel trims there. A few bits and bobs in here. Is there anything we need? I don't think so, not this time. Which is a good job because I didn't bring any money with me. But, yeah, great to see that. And here, a little Riley elf. I saw that driving in earlier. Beautiful little example. I do like the RAC, apologies for reflections. The little RAC decal in the window below the BMC rosette. And ooh, there's that Riley Pathfinder. That is a jolly rare sight, that is. I do like that. Original registration with the original plates as well. So that kind of thing I like a lot. Yeah, great wafty saloon, this one. Very unusual to see one of these. It's got a 68 tax disc in the window, but the car is a lot older than that. Quick peering through there. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a little cutout in the squab down there, so I'm guessing the gear change lever, yep, it's just next to the door. So I don't know if we'll be able to see that if we go around to the side, but that is one rare motor car. Yeah, lovely. Is this one yours, sir?
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, that's a rare thing, isn't it?
It is a rare thing, 1956.
So have you had it long? Have you had it
6 years.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah, redone it completely.
So you bought it, oh, was it a project?
Yeah, it was a project, yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, all made panels, everything.
How bad was it?
Not too bad, but
right.
It was rough enough to. Had to rebuild the engine.
Oh, right.
It dropped a valve into the engine when I first got it going, and
did it?
So we've just done the engine up, did that up over COVID and what have you.
Oh, right, yeah.
Anyway, we're all back together again now.
Wow.
So just what's the interior doing, but.
So is the engine similar to that in the RM? Is it sort of related, or is it a BM?
It's a bit bigger. It's
is it?
I think it's 2.6, but it's a twin cam. I'll have the
right.
if you want to look.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to have a quick peek under there. Yeah, yeah. It's not often you see one of these. Fully equipped dashboard as well. Is that where the bonnet release is? No, right, I was going to say. Yeah. I see, right.
It's a twin cam engine.
Twin cam, so what, 2.6 you say?
I think so, yeah.
Right, wow. So does it roll along quite happily, does it?
It does, oh yeah, it's quite
yeah.
quick. It's 100 mile an hour car, and it'll take on the Mark II Jags.
Would it? Wow.
The
Yeah.
police ran them.
Ah, I see, right, got you. Riley Motors Limited, Abingdon on Thames. Wow.
They're all wired nuts and everything. The engine's very well. Way over engineered.
Oh, there we go. Right.
Interior to do, but four speed with
4-speed, and yes, the gear lever down here tucked between the squab and the door. Wonder why they put it there.
It works really well because it's straight into the gearbox.
Is it? Right.
You've no column change or anything with lots of linkage.
Right.
It's very, very positive.
Oh, is it?
It does fall to your hand.
Right,
I think
no.
it'd feel a bit funny to drive
Yeah,
it. But
yeah. So you don't have to lean down for it.
you
It sort
don't.
of falls
Just
within
falls,
reach, is
falls
it?
to your hand, yeah.
Wow, that's proper unusual, that, isn't it? Wow. That's great to see. Yeah, definitely a rare sight, that one. Okay, let's carry on down here. We've got another early Rolls Royce, and this one has a bit of info in the window. So it's a 38 Rolls Royce Phantom 3 Sedanca de Ville, coachwork by H.J. Mulliner. All the blurb there. Just pause the video if you want to have a read about this particular car. It's a 7.3 litre 60 degree V12 with double ignition. So 2 of everything, distributed coils and 4 sets of points, 24 spark plugs. That must be fun. Right, what a great car. What an incredible car, V12 Phantom. Let's go around here. I don't want to, there's a little dog resting around there, so I don't want to disturb him or her. Bonnet is up, so hopefully we can have a shufty at. Oh, look at those lamps. Aren't they beautiful? Wow, there is the V12 engine. Plenty going on under there. Wowzers.
Alright.
Isn't that incredible?
Or you had a switch inside for hunting.
Beautiful quality. What a machine. And I love the NGK plug caps as well. Amazing car. 1938 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Right, here we have a Jaguar E-Type Series 2 fixed head coupe. A 4.2 XK engine under there. Ooh, and we have some bits for sale in front of the black Wolseley 1500.
Yeah.
Let's see, what have we got down here? Oh, I see A40 Farina written on something. So we've got some BMC bits and pieces in here. I wonder what they are. Fitting kit for brakes by the look of it. So a few odds and ends, always worth having a look around. Nice little extractor manifold there. Yeah, supercar. I remember seeing this one here last year. Really original black paint on it, slightly polished through in places, and all the better for that. Yeah. Super little car. And again, correct picnic set on the back. Seat, correct AA and RAC books as well. We like all that kind of thing. I'm a bit of a sucker for that kind of thing myself. Very nice. Yeah, you can just see how it's been polished through on the high points on the body. Perfect. There we go. And the Nuffield Road Atlas of Great Britain. Oh, it's just a perfect little car. Little accessories catalogue over there as well, and the colour leaflet chart. Handbook as well for the Wolseley 1500. This is a fairly early one. The later ones have got slightly different grille, bigger side and tail lights at the front, side and indicators at the front. A40 backlights as well in the later ones. And here, the Oxford, the two-tone Morris Oxford that came in before. And again, ooh, the pound box. Oh no! I knew I should have brought some money. What's this? Always drawn to. It's a semaphore trafficator. Yeah, dear, I should have brought some money with me, shouldn't I? Oh well. Right. A £5 box of assortment over here. Yeah. Let's have a look at the car itself. Rare sights again, with picnic set on the back. Rare. Oh, look at the great little deck chairs as well. All the period accessories. It's even got a little hook thing that hangs off the rear side window. It's got one of those clip-on picnic tables as well. That's pretty cool. What are these little toy plastic cars? What are these then? £3 each. Riley 2.6, Austin A55 Cambridge, A95 Countryman and Morris Minor 1000. They're pretty neat. So these would have been sort of giveaways in cereal boxes. Right, that is coming home with me now. Thanks to the Morris owner for that one. Right, what do we have here? This is a homage to the BMW 507. But looking at the screens around, it's a Z3, I think. Yeah. So it's based on a Z3, I suspect. Yeah. Yes. Lots of 507 references, those centre knock-on spinners there. So, yeah. Pretty cool. An MGA fixed head alongside that. I saw this one, always quite taken by these very novel little door handles on these. Great looking car, 3-piece rear screen. Lovely looking machine. Right, and over here, another Alvis. This is the one that had the offside front headlamp pointing in an unusual direction. Looks like normality has been restored. So this is a TA14 from 1948. Super looking car. VW Beetle alongside that. It's one of the 6-volt cars. Ooh, lovely Hella lamp on there. So that's an aftermarket Hella spot lamp on the front. Yeah. Lovely looking car. Great condition car, that one. Of course, engine in the tail, so that gives you lots of storage up front on top of the petrol tank, which is right at the front of the car. And another Alvis here. This is the one on spoked wheels, a bit like the old grey ladies were. Spoked wheels were standard fit on those. A very swish looking car indeed. Two-tone paint really suits these. Doesn't suit every car, two-tone paint, but it really seems to work on these very nicely indeed. Ooh, there's a few clouds up there. I'll have to keep on moving, I think. Yeah, lovely car. Super comfy in there. This one's even got the old moto meter set in to the radiator cap there, so you can monitor the engine temps from the driver's seat. And over here, hot rod, sort of Model A, Model B type, inspired by, and this has got the good old Rover 3.5 V8. The Cortina 1600E on those lovely Ross style wheels, that looks great. Fine looking motor car. There's the MG ZT with this is the ZT 260 with the Mustang V8 shoehorned under its bonnet. And there is that incredible Chevy station wagon, the Bel Air station wagon. What a jolly looking vehicle this one is. A bit of Lucille playing in there, but don't want any copyright strikes, so I'll have to steer clear of that. But yeah, great to see this, and I love these curved wraparound side windows, just like on the F-Type Victor. Right, we'll leave the music playing over there. The Corvette Stingray. I love these sort of turbine-inspired wheels on those. Great looking car. Ford Mustang here. Audi corner. Lone Stag just parked over here. Chrome bumper BGT. Morgan. Clamshell is open on the Ultima. Okie dokie, let's just have a quick amble up here before we go up that row. Rubber bumper GT there. And oh, here's that much modified Austin A40. I was hoping I'd bump into this one, the Mark II Austin A40. Very modified. This has got a twin cam engine shoehorned into it. Looks, I'm going to guess Mazda, albeit painted in BMC green. That's quite clever. Quick peer in through the plexiglass side windows. Very, very different to our A40. Not least, this one is on the road, whereas ours isn't. This is a Countryman as well, so it's got the lift-up rear screen. So it makes the A40 a lot more practical compared to the regular saloon like we've got. Right, that's good. That's an unusual shade of green, this B as well. It's getting very dark. The sky is getting darker and darker. So let's carry on up here. So this is Series 2 Morris 80s from 1938.
It's been all good for say going out to Volvo or anything.
Turns out the owner of that MGB is a follower of the channel, so big thanks for that. Asking after the youthful assistant who is out in his granddad's MGB today with Mrs. OCC. Yeah, lovely to see. Series 2 Morris 80, you don't see many of these. You tend to see more Series 1s. Okay, we've got the Z3 Beamer. The 280Z, very handsome looking car. I think these are great looking cars, these are. Very nice indeed. Maybe I should hurry up a bit because I'm not sure about this weather. Stag here, it's a very, very chilly breeze. And the bright yellow Spitty showing off the excellent engine accessibility on these. So you can just sit on your front wheel, tune up your SU carburetors on this side, or tweak the ignition by sitting on the wheel over there. Everything's so easy to get at. The wiper motor, the master cylinders, your screen wash, your heater valve over there, starter solenoid, the battery. It's just so easy. Normally they have like little sort of panels in here just to keep some of the dirt off the side of the engine. The houndstooth cloth inside this one. Yeah, very bonny little car. Happy memories of Spitfire ownership going back a long time now. Here's the Series 2 2+2, the Ford Anglia Super, the 123E, I believe. Yeah, Anglia Super. Beautiful car. MGC GT with those very unusual wheels. I'm not sure what they are. They remind me a bit of the old Cosmics. Maybe that's what they are. Who knows? So the bonnet's up on the angle box. So let's have a quick peer under here. Yeah, all very clean and proper and correct under the bonnet of this one. There's the MacPherson strut mountings there. Very prone to rusting on these Fords. I like the lamps actually. What are these then? The Butler's Clearway lamps. Got one spot and one fog. I've not seen those before. Pretty cool to see those. Yeah, MGC GT alongside, and the Daimler, the SP250 with the Edward Turner engine under the bonnet. Here's the P5 3-litre coupe. And the tool tray, probably can't see, but just under the centre of the dash over there, there's like a pull-out tray which doubles as a picnic table and also has your toolkit in it. So this is a Mark III coupe automatic ear-edge, 1967, original plate. It's good to see that, the oversized plates that were unique to the P5 and the P5B. Beautiful looking car, shades of Volvo Amazon I always think. Capri over here. Is this the laser edition that I saw coming in before? Yep, it is indeed. So one of several limited editions that were offered of the Capri and the Mercedes-Benz SL. This is the R107 car with the hood raised. Windows open so we can have a quick peer inside. Beautifully well made cockpit in these. What do we have here? A little Mazda. Is this the... I can't remember what this was now. Is it a 323? It is. 1990 323 SE hatchback. 1324cc. One of those cars which at one time they'd be everywhere, but now they must be almost extinct. Not quite extinct because we're looking at one, but there can't be more than a handful on the road surely now. Okay, Morris Minor 1000 is next in this lovely shade of like a mid-green. It's a two-door car, this one. Really lovely restored condition. Just as clean inside as it is outside as well. Always nice to see a moggy or two out and about in the wild. You don't see as many of the Morris Minor saloons as once did. You see lots of travellers still at shows, but not so many. Especially the four-door saloons, they seem to be rarer still. A lovely chrome bumper GT here, complete with Webasto roof. Few mods in this one, wood rim steering wheel, quite plush interior. One thing I've noticed with driving Dad's MGB lately, the handbrake cable, handbrake lever is so close to the transmission tunnel it makes it quite difficult to release it actually. And the other novelty is seatbelts in the front, of course, but the actual seatbelt box is all the way back here, so it's quite a stretch actually to reach that from the front compartment. So it's interesting just having the B on the fleet temporarily while Harley is doing some learning to drive in it. And of course I've not really driven it a great deal, to be honest. I've only driven it once, just a couple of miles prior to Harley starting his driving adventure, so it's been interesting to actually have a few runs out in it. Mini is here, so Austin Cooper from 65, slightly earlier Morris Mini Minor, In fact, I think the first Minis in 1959, I think the Morris came along before the Austin did. Slidey door windows, I well remember those on my mum's Mini estate. Auto Sport there on the passenger seat, lovely bucket seats as well, got an extra tacho just on the top of the steering column there. Big SU on this one. You can see why people used to get old washing up gloves, cut the end of the fingers off and fit them over the dizzy cap just to stop the water that's tended to spray in when you're driving along, spray in through the radiator and cover your electrics. So grab a marigold, chop the end of the fingers off, and it would just fit over the dizzy cap. A treat. That was a common little thing to do back in the 60s and the 1970s. But yeah, both these Minis, great examples of early Mini. Austin Healey Frog Eye Sprite alongside the so-called Frog Eye or Bug Eye as they were called in America. Basically they came out pretty much with Austin A35 running gear but with twin carbs. Bonnet is also up on this Spitfire here, again showing off the great engine accessibility. Yep. Lovely car, that one. P6 Rover, the Rover 2000, and we have some bits and bobs on the floor here. Oh, some of my favourite magazines of all. These are fantastic. I love the illustrations on these old 50s practical motorists. These are just lovely. Somewhere I've got a box of these, but I can't remember where it is. Yeah, I just love the fact that they did a proper bit of artwork for every month's cover. Just wonderful. Practical mechanics as well. Yeah. So what have we got here? The little A30, the Vauxhall E-Series. I wonder if we'll see any of those here today. What's that, Sunbeam Talbot? Looks a bit like it. Standard Vanguard, Phase 1, Standard Vanguard. I like a bit of that. What's that then? Singer, yeah, Singer Bantam it says. Yeah, that's a little Singer. So what's that, 1955, the magazine. Looks like an M-type or some sort of MG there. And there's another Vanguard at the back there, but yeah, fantastic. Oh, great. I love these old magazines. You can learn so much by reading these. Great to see. And great to see the car too, and the car is for sale. 4995. That doesn't look like a bad buy at all. On the face of it, that's a super smart looking car.
First time I've seen it without it.
Yeah, that looks like a great buy, that Rover. Right, I felt the first spot of rain, so I need to keep moving. F-Type Victor now. This is one of the slightly revised F-Type Victors, the estate. And as I was talking about with that Chevy Bel Air, the wraparound rear side windows, so distinctive. Just the way it wraps around is so cool. A bit like on the Humber Hawk estates.
Kind of went off the chassis, didn't they? Went onto the...
Yeah, very American-y styling on these with the really sharply wraparound screens, and on the rear screen on the saloons as well.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. The old Trico screen wash arrangement there. Great car, such a rare survivor. I mean, cars of the 50s and the 60s tended to rust pretty quickly, but I think Vauxhall took it to a new level when these things used to rust away so quickly. It's just such a shame that there aren't more of them around available to come to shows like this. Now here is that incredible Austin. That's how I saw a glimpse of driving in before. Nice 20s car, 1925. It's an Austin 20. So yeah, it's quite a big engine. Lots of lovely nickel plating, no chrome on this. This is nickel plated. Beautiful car. Again with partition, a little sliding windows there so that the people that sat in the rear compartment could talk privately without the chauffeur interrupting or earwigging on the conversation. What a beauty. Lovely, lovely car, that. Proper car. CAV lamp there. Shell Max and BP. So they are 3 shillings. That was the refundable deposit. So in the days before the widespread adoption of petrol pumps and petrol stations, you'd often buy your fuel in these 2-gallon cans, and you would pay an extra 3 shillings, and that would be returned when you returned your can to your motor spirit supplier. And over here we have, this is a Jaguar 420, so this was basically a Jaguar S-Type with a squared off front. This was a bit of a run out model really. It wouldn't be long before the first of the XJ6s would go on sale. That'd be the following year in '68. Ooh, we've got some old bits here, some old tools. Oil can alert. A couple of rear lamps there as well. There's the Royce is on manoeuvres. Very nice. Yeah. Quite a rare car. I didn't make these for too long. There was the Jaguar 420, and the Daimler Sovereign was sold alongside it as well, but to all intents and purposes they were pretty much identical. Yeah. So a lot more bluff front end compared to the S-Type, but otherwise pretty much the same. Still with the independent rear suspension that the S-Type introduced to the Jaguar saloon car range. Proper Jag lap belts in there. Really like that kind of thing. And on the end of the row, another good old Morris Minor 1000 Traveller. Super clean example in Old English white by the look of it. There goes the caddy.
Now again, I know there's quite a lot of you out there, so come on, do the right thing, bring it in the arena, display it to a larger audience.
Right, so let's start ambling down this row. That dark cloud appears maybe to have blown around, so fingers crossed we won't dump any of the wet stuff on us. There's a much modified Ford Anglia, the 105E here, alongside the Cortina 1600E. Looks like this one is heading into the arena. It's time for the 1960s cars to go in. North Welsh registered, this one, CA. Right, let's carry on down here anyway. See what we can spot. Interesting little car here. An MG. Here's that Porsche 912, very, very original 912. So I guess this was the successor to the 356. Looks pretty original. Left-hand drive, pretty basic in there. Wonderful simplicity, and look at that Porsche lap belt over there. That is good. Some very 70s looking Pioneer speakers there on the rear shelf. Fresno Porsche 1965. Pretty rare car. More Jaguar action now, the Jaguar Mark 10. So this Leviathan had the 3.8 litre version of Jag's famous 6-cylinder engine, and then of course the 420G came along after, which was very similar, had an extra trim strip down the side, but more importantly it had the 4.2 litre version of the engine. For many years this was the widest car I think that had ever been sold here in the UK, but it's probably been trumped by a modern SUV now, but wonderful looking cars. quite a hefty thing that don't fit in every garage. Another Wolseley 1500 here again, fairly early one with the small front side lights. It's a beautiful example in grey. There goes the Daimler. Very moody skies. We will continue our way down here. Jaguar E-Type Series 1. That's a 65 car. Note the triple windscreen wiper arrangement. It's right-hand drive. Manual with overdrive. Supercar. Right, let's continue this amble down here. Another MGC GT. Like I say, slightly larger diameter wheels compared to the MGB. And this power bulge, the hump, to clear the big BMC 3 litre straight six. Torsion bar suspension on the front of these as well. There's a lot of re-engineering went into the basic MGB shell to accommodate that big heavy BMC engine. Here's that super little Reliant. The Scimitar Coupe. Tamworth's finest. I do like the shape of these as well. I prefer the shape of these to the later GTEs, if I'm honest, even though those are a bit more practical, those sort of shooting brake styling. But I like the notch back on these, like a proper coupe sort of look. And here is the Austin Morris Minor pickup truck. Super little vehicle. There it goes. Oh, is it for sale, is it? Oh, blimey. I'll photograph your number. Then if anyone wants to get in touch, there you go. So this is for sale, the Austin badged version. It's got a Morris grill on it though, isn't it? Yeah. So is it an Austin or is it a Morris? It's a Morris, is it? Oh, right. Got you.
Free pine cone.
Free pine cone? Oof. Oh, there we are, yes. It comes with that. Yeah, let's have a peer inside.
You can put your shopping in here.
I think there's a bit of a badge mix-up in production.
Yeah, right.
There was quite a bit of...
Yeah, because there wasn't much difference, was there really? Let's have a peer in here. All quite cosy and compact in here. Very familiar dash to anyone who's owned a regular Morris Minor. Different steering wheel. Yeah, handy.
Free pine cone on the other side.
Very handy. Yeah, it's great little pickup. Nice rare thing. Separate chassis on these. Yeah. Okay, here we have a Nova Saloon, a four-door saloon version of the Vauxhall Nova. A rapidly disappearing sight. MGC is running alongside the Daimler. Like I say, this has got the 2.5 V8. Off goes the MGC. Is it off to the arena or is it off altogether? I'm not sure. Probably to the arena, I would have thought. A pretty wild looking car, fiberglass body. It's got a Rover V8 badge on the back. But yeah, presumably it still has the original all aluminium 2.5 that was shared with a V8 250 saloon. Pretty bonkers looking car. Which police force? Was it the Metropolitan Police? Ran a few of these back in the day. Right, let's carry on here past the V70, the bay window. We've seen these ones before, so let's go and find the next row of cars. My goodness, is that sunshine on my back? Okay, another row and another lineup of interesting classic cars, including this incredible 2-litre Ford Granada Estate. Some pretty tasty looking rims on this one. Yeah. The Granada L. Suddenly feels warm. What's going on? Super original. Oh, we can see that super original interior in there. What a machine that is. Okay, there is a lightweight Land Rover of the 1970s. And also from the 70s we have this Ford Fiesta Mark 1, the 1.1L. The window is open, so let's have a peer inside. I'm sure this will bring back a few memories to many of you watching this video today.
Oh yeah, get Charlotte.
Very neat, very rare survivor, that one. Right, the Escort Cosworth over here, there's a few of those here today. Got a re-engined Mark 1 over here. There we go. ST170, so many things going on under the bonnet of that one. Nice group of CB lamps on there, but this is a Humber Scepter. Now, this is a rare old girl, H for Humber there. So this was from the Arrow series of cars, the Hillman Hunter, the Hillman Minx. And this, the Humber Scepter, was the top of the tree. It's got the proper mud flaps and the very distinctive wheel trims as well. So yes, it's very much an upmarket car. Lots of wood in there, up here you can see in there. Even wood down the centre console around there. Aren't too many of those left. The old Lucas Square 8 lamps on the front. Nice, and here we have a Lotus Elan, a fixed head coupe Lotus Elan with those great knock-on wheels, centre lock wheels, beautiful little car, fiberglass bodied, built in Norfolk, Hethel in Norfolk. Alongside that, the Gilburn, one of the very few cars built in Wales. This was a collaboration between the Welsh chap and the German chap, I believe. There's the Welsh Dragon on there. Yeah. Ooh, we've got the proper string back driving gloves in there, de rigueur if driving a car of this type. Handsome machine. Got a midget here, the 1500, shared its engine with the Spitfire 1500, which itself was an evolution of the engine that first saw light of day way back in the early 1950s with the Standard 8. Now, which way around do you put your luggage rack on? Some people say put it this way around to stop things falling off. Other people say have the raised bit there so that if you brake suddenly, your picnic set doesn't join you in the cabin of the car. So answers on a postcard please, which is the right way of mounting your boot rack? What's this here? Might have to cheat. What does it say down here? Mangles on the wheel. A JBA. That rings a bell. Is that a JBA Falcon perhaps? A Beetle here. Now this is quite unusual because, so what's this, a 1300 perhaps? It's unusual because it's got a steel sunroof. I can't imagine there were too many Beetles with those. It's also got a bug deflector on the front. Let's have a look on the back and see which one this is. I think it's like a 1303 or 1302. Oh, there's no badge, so I don't know. But either way, 70s bug. In great condition. Reminds me a bit of the old boy who used to live across the road from us. He bought a Beetle brand new in the 70s, one of the Jeans limited edition with the denim seats. Mark II Escort, a bay window, very tasteful Mark II Escort there. MGB GT, the bonnet raised, showing off quite the pretty good engine accessibility on these. Yeah, the engine mounts. Ooh, engine mounts. Now on the chrome bumper cars, the engine mounts are there, and they're quite easy to get to. But I did the engine mounts on that. I don't know if you remember that rubber bumper MGB that I had up until just a couple of years back. And that was a pig of it. They were sort of further down there, and you had to drop the steering rack off, I think, to get at them. That wasn't a lot of fun. Right, over here we have a Citroen DS. Incredible car. It's a right-hand drive DS on an L reg, about 72 or 73. What a belter. This one in dark green, it's a Palace. It's one of the posh ones. Amazing cars. Fiberglass roof panel in most markets. I think someone was saying, was it South Africa or Australia? They didn't have the fiberglass roof panel, but in this country the standard fit was a fiberglass panel, because all the outer panels unbolt. So this is a 72 DS21 Palace 5-speed box. First owner Jimmy Tarbuck. Other previous owners include Ross Brawn, Formula 1 team director, of course the name behind Brawn Grand Prix, who took Jenson Button to his world title in 2009, I think. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is Jimmy Tarbuck's old Citroen DS, fancy that. There's a few cars moving behind, including that lovely TR5. What a belter that is. Cars of the 70s are heading into the arena.
When you drove in this morning, you were photographed. So your vehicle was photographed because you were.
Lotus Elan Sprint over here, parked alongside Morris Minor convertible. This is a 66 car, this one. The American cars are all stationed over that way, so I'll try and get back over there a bit later. Right, let's carry on down here. Super little Elan here. World champion car constructors, 1970, 68, 65 and 1963. Of course that's in Formula 1. I love the framing round the side windows on these cars.
Does it actually show the Cheshire Classic Car Motor Show?
Okay, let's amble down here. Another Gilburn, looking resplendent in the sunshine that we seem to be enjoying at this moment in time. There's a Silver Spirit. There's that Cavalier Mark 1.
Not available online, so buy today.
Well, there you are, folks. So just explain where you are.
Good to see one of these. You don't see as many Vauxhalls around as you do Fords. This is an automatic. That must be quite rare.
The quality is superb, folks. So it's 1970 to 1979.
There's a little SLK. Bay window V-dubs. A few of those here today. And there goes the russet brown Triumph Dolomite.
So, still got the opportunity to bring your vehicles into the arena.
Okay, we'll carry on down here. Variety of MGs, B, midget. There's the RV8. So these were built around new heritage shells, which had been built for a little while to provide restorers of original MGBs with a new body shell if the original was rotted out. And it was decided that a limited run of these, the RV8s, would be built using those heritage shells. I think this was to kind of reawaken the public's memories of the MG brand before the MGF went on sale. I think that was the main purpose of producing these, the RV8s. Some of them in this sort of green metallic, some like in a very dark red metallic. Great to see. And here we have an MGB GT V8. There's the Rover engine in there. Looks like it was designed to fit in there. Lovely car, sounded great when it came in before. And these Stags also sound pretty special as well. The blue, brown Mark II here. Granada Estate, second one of those we've seen today. Another midget, 1500. There's a little Moggy Traveller, very similar to the one that Dad had just a couple of years or so back. And there's the Mercedes-Benz SLC, so quite a lot longer than the SL, the open top car. And here's that Ford Consul. This looks super original, 2-litre engine in this one. What a great interior, in amazing condition. How do any of these things survive?
Yeah, it's a shame about one.
More mini action here. Rover 3.5S here. This is quite a late one. This is an American spec, federal spec P6 with the intakes on the bonnet, and also the ice alert rather. Just on the front, that was a standard fitment on the American market, federal spec Rover P6s.
Yeah, that's it.
Still left-hand drive. Auto box, that's interesting. So the 3.5S in this country they were all manual. This has got the auto. Pretty unique wheels as well. Don't see those on the British ones. Slightly different rear lights as well. No amber light, just red and red, and you've got these extra reflectors on the side here. It's great to see that here today. Ooh, Leyland Princess, didn't see that one coming in. Okay, let's have an amble up here past the little Moggy, and there's that Mark III version of the 2-litre Cortina Mark III Estate. Pretty cool to see that. It was for sale. Lots of cars are for sale today. Barney machine. Hardly ever see these around now. Super practical car, that one.
Obviously you've spent a long time preparing it and getting it right, but you get a lot of pleasure out of driving it. Absolutely. It's the best time. It's a happy place.
Here comes a Skoda, and here comes the rain. Actually, it's just started to rain, so we need to get a bit of a wriggle on. There's that Pontiac Le Mans. There's the federal spec Rover. Lots and lots of detail differences on that one compared to your regular home market UK car. So, yeah, really cool to see that one there today.
Right, we've got a runner-up and a winner. The Morris Traveller.
Okay, let's go down here. Probably need to get a bit of a wriggle on because I can feel it starting to rain. There's an MG Metro Turbo, the Granada here, Mercedes-Benz SL, the R107, Ford Escort RS Turbo Series 1 based on the Mark III Ford Escort, great little Fiesta Mark II, the Jaguar XJS, another P6 3.5S, so this one should have the manual gearbox in it. So this is a UK market car, lovely proper reflective metal plates. I know lots of cars of this age have been retrofitted with silver on black, but it's nice to see them how they would have been back in the day. Yeah, manual gear shift, there we go. It's good to see. There's that Porsche 924S.
Get some of the motorcycles into the arena. Quite a few bikes
XR Cabriolet,
we'll get them in the arena.
Beaufort kit car, I think. Yeah.
then 2 o'clock.
And if you look carefully, you'll see the middle bit
And that'll be,
is mini.
we'll be looking at the 80s,
That bit there.
the 90s,
It's kind of mini, I think.
and
Right, the Volvo 300 series. Is it a 340 or is it a 360?
1990 to 2000.
Well, there's a question.
And then 2000 to 2000.
340 GL 1989.
The car of the show. And,
Mate of mine's mum had one of these. It replaced a brand new Austin Allegro estate that she bought.
there is a tendency after
Let's carry on down here.
leave, but there's quite a lot of you leaving already. Please stop with us because
Some of these cars I did catch when they came in before. There's a little Alfa Romeo, is that 33 I think? Pretty unusual sight. Let's have a quick look at the back just to see if the badge will reveal all. Yeah, 33. There's the RX-7 and there is, I'm getting wet, there is the little rotary engine. Down there. Yeah, Mazda stuck with rotary engines for many, many years, bucking the trend, because no one else really did. NSU did in the 70s, but few other people really did much with the Wankel engine. There's the DeLorean. Yeah. Stainless steel bodywork on these. The V6 PRV engine in the back, or in the middle rather. A Toyota Supra. Big old hefty Toyota here. Let's have a quick peer inside. All very plush, very luxurious. Yeah, there's one of these, a dark green one that our neighbour had bought new, replaced a Toyota Celica Mark 1 if I remember right. But yeah, I remember this. The Crown Super Saloon. That's cool. I remember that. 240 GL here. Beautiful example in red. A very, very nice example, that one. My uncle had one of these. He had a white saloon and then he had an estate in the same shade of red afterwards. 911 Targa, roof possibly going on imminently. And a second DeLorean over here. With pretty wild gull wing doors. 3 Series, burbles by. There's that Carlton GSI 3000. Handsome looking machine. The little Citroen AX, we saw that one driving in a couple of hours ago now. The MR2 down here alongside, this is that posh Cavalier, the CD from about 1985. It's a rare car now, that one. A Rover there, little hatch, a 5-door hatch. The Mazda MX-3, yours for 4,750. These are quite a neat little car. I think these are the small V6 1600 4-cylinder. Oh, right, okay. I was thinking of something else. Here's that Opel Kadett. The Kadett C. These were built 73 to 79, according to the info on the screen. Here's that little supercharged VW Polo, the G40. That's quite an unusual little car. I like old balls. Yeah, and the Polo G40. That's good to see. Calibra V6. Handsome cars, bit of rain on the lens. And over here, a Golf driver, a 5-door Golf driver hatch.
I said no, but it was just honestly.
Yeah, this definitely takes me back. I wonder where this has been. I wonder how it ended up being left-hand drive. Where's this coming from? Yeah. That brings back a few memories, although my steering wheel was over this side. Again, boot rack with the raised bit at the back. Yeah. It really takes me back seeing that. You can just see the camber of the back. The wheels there, the independent rear suspension. Quite prone to tucking under if you were backed off in the middle of a brisk corner. Right, let's carry on. So I've got a few Vauxhalls and Fords there. It's raining properly now. I'm going to amble back in the general direction of the car. The roof's going up on this MX-5. Yeah, it's all quite modern, the car's over there, so I don't think we'll get over there just yet. Now is as good a time as any, I think, to have a sandwich. Bit of horizontal rain, but I think it'll blow through fairly quickly. No roof or even tonneau cover on the replica Cobra alongside. There's a Fiesta on manoeuvres just over there. Yeah, it's jolly chilly today. Over here is that Daimler version of the XJ40. We are on the JEC, the Jaguar Enthusiast Club stand. This is a 66. So this has got the V12 engine. That must be quite a rarity. Very rare. So Daimler, which is pretty rare in its own right, and the V12 engine. Very nice. E-type there. I'll just have a quick scoot through here. XJS, another V12 there. Nice trailer, sir. Right. And here on the end, the 240. Here are all those Renault wins. Right, let's go looking for some more oldies here at the Thoresby Hall Classic Car Show. This great little home built is a Fisher. Not sure what the running gear is with this. The door handle looks a bit Spitfire or MGB perhaps. Pretty cosy in there. And very neat looking little car. Shades of Ginetta with that one. Well, it's about 1 o'clock. Quite a few cars are leaving already. Mazda MX-3 is off. Yeah, this station wagon, the old Chevy Bel Air. It's a pretty impressive looking thing. Chevrolet. Fantastic car. And there's the Chevrolet truck alongside it. Here is that wartime Dodge. Yeah, what a lovely looking machine that is. So this should have, the Flathead 6, very similar to that in our pickup. We did do a few different sizes, but they're all basically the same engine, a smaller version of the engine in Big Dodge, which is also a flathead or a side valve 6, but that's just sort of scaled up a bit, so somewhat different to the engine in this one, but this is quite similar to that in our 47 pickup. Yeah, all looks pretty familiar. That's the oil filter housing at the top there. Yeah, that's a great looking machine, that is. I like that. A few more American gems over here. The Oldsmobile Super 88 in black. This one from 1958. Pretty amazing car, 2-door. Incredible styling on these cars. Alongside that, the Chevy 3100, the half-ton pickup truck. This is a beauty, this one with a split screen. I think it was 1954, they went to a one-piece window. Now here is that pedal car, a little Triang. Looks like it's a little Austin Cambridge or a Morris Oxford, judging by the fins on the back, circa 1959. Chevy, Oh, the Triang pedal car is for sale. It's a Wolseley 1560 apparently. There we go. I knew it was a Farina, but we come around the front here and we can see the Wolseley badge. Very distinctive. I used to have a Wolseley 1660. Bought it off a work colleague for £100. It's a few years ago, mine. £350 for this beauty. It's probably quite unusual still having a windscreen frame on it because they often disappear. Triang, very famous name in the world of toys and pedal cars and such like. And it's pretty cool to see that one in the back of this Chevy 3100. The Chevy itself is pretty cool. This has got what they call a 5-window cab with these extra paned curved pieces of glass in the back corners of the cab. That's quite a desirable thing in the world of half-ton Chevy pickups. Yeah, it looks nice and original in there. Sometimes you see these and they've been chopped about, and modern gauges and instruments and radios and all that kind of thing, which kind of spoils it. But this one looks really, really original, proper. Yeah, it all looks pretty good in there to me. Mohawk gasoline, the Chevrolet Thriftmaster. And in the end of American Row is this incredible Ford Fairlane 500. So this is, I think it's a 57. The roof is now up, but when it came in, it was down. This has the incredible, this is a Skyliner. So it has the full retractable metal roof. All this sort of lifts up at the back, and then a series of motors and many complicated switches and things enable that roof to sort of go and drop into the back of there. Then that closes back down on top of it, and you've got a fully open top car. Amazing, amazing thing. A real era of optimism when these incredible cars were being built. It's got the Continental kit with a spare wheel hung out the tail. And presumably, is that the original supplying dealer? Off goes that Mercury Comet, rare sight here in the UK, that one. Looks like the A40 is another early departure. If you're coming to one of these shows just as a regular paying punter and you want to see everything, make sure you get here early. Well, early doors anyway.
Thanks very much. Fantastic machine. And last but not least, is another Honda. But all these machines here, they're all packaged. And they're so darn clean. I mean, chrome. What have we got then, Victor? Right. In second place then, folks, and we can put your hands together for these two guys. Come look at that then. Right, come on then, come and collect your folks then. That, if you like, bike of the show is fantastic, it really is. It's warmer in there than it is out here. Great.
I feel more spots of rain, but before I hide away, it's interesting to note a Mark II version of the Mazda MX-5 has parked alongside us, so it allows a few comparisons. Pop-up headlights on the Mark I, regular headlights on the Mark II. Otherwise pretty similar, slightly different shape down the side. The sills, different shape as well. Sort of more bulbous on the Mark II, sort of down here. It's much more different compared to the earlier car. The back end also differs slightly as well. High level brake light on the Mark II, slightly different shape rear lights, slightly bigger rear lights compared to our car. Just go across there, you can see the similarities but also the differences between the two cars there. Yeah, pretty similar otherwise, just lots and lots of subtle revisions for the Mark II compared to the Mark I. Yep. Gentleman came with brolly, he was obviously prepared. Cars of the 1990s are now heading into the arena to go and have a chat with Les. There goes that Carlton GSI and the little AX behind that. Did I see this four-door Escort Mark I when I was walking around before? I don't remember it. It looks very, very original. Yeah. Good to see another early Escort out and about. Especially four doors. You don't see as many more door Escorts as you do the two doors. Yeah, cool to see this one. Looks pretty original. Quite a few gaps in the field now. We did have another little sprinkling of rain, so I think that may well have contributed to people starting to disappear. But I'll stick around just a little bit longer.
Hello, my name is Sarah. That's S-E-R-A. A stunning creation from a land far away. Over.
I'm now standing by magnificent Daimler. And
the Ford Pop 103 is setting sail, departing Thoresby Hall. And yes, this particular classic car show is starting to wind down a bit now. The DS21 Palace is also going. Quick photo op for the Citroen DS in front of the hotel itself. It's great to see this big old Dodge, the wartime Dodge, still here well into the afternoon here at Thoresby Hall. So anyway, I think I will start ambling back towards the car, have a final cup of coffee and then probably call it a day. So thank you so much for watching this particular video here at Thoresby Hall in the grounds of Thoresby Park. It's been a very, very interesting meet. Hopefully my youthful assistant had a fun day at the gathering he went to with the MG GT. No doubt there'll be a video about that very, very soon, so check out his car traction channel. But for now, I think I'll wrap this one up. I'll include links to a couple of similar videos to this one at the end of this. But thank you so much for watching. Please give it a like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of thing. It really helps the channel, keeps it on an even keel, and that's all important. So thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.